Well, listeners, we have a very, very talented guest on the show right now. I had a look at this guest's bio before, and it's made me feel like I've done nothing with my life because she is such an amazing person. I'm talking about Militia Vox, who is going to be here for this amazing tour with Judas Priestess. So we thought we would actually get Militia on the phone today to chat a little bit about this amazing tour that is coming up. Welcome to the show, Militia.
Hey, thank you for having me. Hey guys, how you doing?
So Militia, as I said, I read through your bio before. You've got such an amazing career to date. But tell us a little bit about Judas Priestess and how you came to be in this absolutely amazing band that is now coming to Australia.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, Judas Priestess has been a wild ride. We'll say that. Judas Priestess is like being married to 5 women at once. Judas Priestess has been an epic journey, and it's been worth like every second of it because when we started, we had no idea that it was going to last this long, and the reason why it has is just because the audiences keep getting bigger, and we keep traveling to like more and more destinations, and getting to meet really cool people, including Judas Priest themselves. And we love the music, and we feel honored to be able to present the songs in this way. We're able to give these really cool songs a feminine edge. And Priest fans are like some of the coolest metal fans on earth. So it's been a really gratifying experience. The band came together before I was the singer. They didn't have a singer, so I can't take credit for starting the band. But when I heard that they were forming, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And when I finally met them in person, it was just like an instant thing. We just knew that we were going to do this together. So it was pretty exciting. And those are my sisters, and we've just had up, downs, all arounds. We are definitely worthy of our own reality TV show at this point. And it's just been an unforgettable journey.
You have done reality TV before. Is that something that you've explored with this? Is that something that you've explored with this band?
You know what? We've been asked several times over the years to be the subject of a reality show, but they didn't really pan out. And in some situations, it wasn't right for the band and what we were really interested in legacy-wise as a band. But we always wanted. We wanted this band to be something that was different from other tribute bands. You know, we always set out to make it be a real statement about women in metal, and our playing ability, and our skills, and our excitement, and our ability to put on a show, and really bring a new light to women that play metal. And also, like, kind of reframe what a tribute band is. You know, we can present this music in a way that's, like, not exactly like the original interpretation. It's our interpretation, and it comes with a very female edge.
Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that because you do the tribute band thing in a very, very special way. And, of course, I've seen some tragic tribute bands over the years, including a time here in Australia, and I won't mention who the artist was this guy was covering, but I saw a guy get up one night, a very larger guy, like me. I'm a larger guy, so I feel I can say this. A larger guy who was doing a Robbie Williams tribute, who was also drunk, and managed to fall off the stage during the first song. How important is that to you to make something special for Judas Priestess rather than just being another tribute or another cover band?
Well, that was like the key thing when we first started off, is that we wanted to do what other tribute bands didn't do. So like we were very careful about how we presented at all times. It was always a thing where like, you know, we didn't want to necessarily be in a lineup with a bunch of other tribute bands. You know, it's like we wanted to always differentiate that we were just a great band that just happened to be playing one band's catalog. So we did that by not playing on large bills with other tributes or small bills with other tributes. We just didn't want to do like, oh, it's this tribute extravaganza, you know, just seemed kind of silly. Or a lot of people would be like, hey, we're going to have a night of all female tributes, which we've done a couple times, but it's like not our favorite thing. But when we were building the band over the years, that was something we tended to stay away from. And also, like, we wanted to be one of the first tributes that was not going to do, like, the weird joke thing. Like, we were never going to make the band a joke or a parody of Priest or a parody of ourselves or something. Like, we don't have female versions of their names. Like, I'm not Roberta Halford, you know, or anything like that. And even down to, like, what we wear on stage. Like, we wear leather-studded looks, but they're very much our unique leather-studded looks.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had any pieces that were made to look just like Rob Halford's, you know, or anybody in the band they haven't done anything like that.
Yeah.
We always, like, kept our own identities in the band, and I think that was key to differentiating ourselves, for sure.
You also mentioned...
You're always aware that you're looking at, you know, someone who's not trying to, like, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm Rob Halford in any way.
Yeah. You mentioned before about members of Judas Priest being fans of the band. Rob, of course, has not only endorsed you guys, but he's performed with you. Tell us a little bit about what that was like working with Rob, but also getting his kind of endorsement for the band as well. Did that mean a lot to you?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I met Rob before the band, actually, years before. Because I was already following him in, like, his various projects and things. And then when Priestess started, we went down to a taping of that metal show, like, not long. We hadn't even played our first show, and we went down to see him when he was on that metal show on VH1. And he knew we were there, and he gave us so much love from the get-go, you know, and we had his blessing then. So it was cool. That's what kind of, like, catapulted the band. To have this, like, to have that kind of, like, appreciation and the thumbs up from him at the jump, I think it really, like, set us into this project with, like, a lot of love, you know, knowing that they were good with it, you know, knowing that, that they were endorsing us at the top, and we hadn't even really done anything yet other than found each other.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then through the years, it's just really developed. You know, he would see our videos on YouTube, or I'd send him videos of us on YouTube, so he could see, like, what songs we were working on. You know, because we were playing songs that Priest had never even performed live. Yeah. So we were doing we gave a lot of love to, like, the deeper cuts and things like that, which was unique. And yeah, like, KK had written about us on his website, Steel Mail. Al Atkins had reached out to us when we first formed and gave us love after seeing a video of us doing Victim of Changes. It's all been, like, a very cool process getting to know the band members, and my relationship with Halford just really just, like, exploded once we did this duet together, because the duet is not a Priest thing, it's an original thing. We were able to come to this project as just, like, good singers, you know? Yeah. It's like, okay, we're working as great singers coming together to do this project that is not Priest related, you know? So it was just, like, a really unique thing to come in almost as peers in a way, as opposed to, you know, me coming onto this thing as a person tributing him in song, you know. So it was like we had our own identities, and we're able to meet and create something cool.
Talking
It's
of
really
your
awesome.
talking of your own career, you started off studying classical piano. So tell us a little bit about where your love for rock and metal first came from, because I noticed that your first kind of heavier band was in your early years as well. But where did that love come from? How did you evolve from classical piano to hard rock and metal?
Yeah. Well, I think I would have to say it started with my dad. My dad's a record collector, and it was always very important to him that I listened to certain, seminal Criterion rock bands that he loved. Like he'd send me to my room with like Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. I'd be like, "You're my daughter, and you're gonna listen to this." I was like, "Okay." I'm gonna lay on the floor in my room and just like put the album on and just try to like imagine, how these songs came together and like try to figure out like how they knew what to write and how they knew how to pick certain notes. Because when I was playing classical music, it was like everything was written there. Like classical composers, like they get played and played and played and played. And you know what that sounds like and you know what to expect. And then this was something that was like so unique, so raw. It's like these people aren't regurgitating like dead composers' music. This is like their brand, their band, their sound. How did they know what to play? Because I was still trying to figure out songwriting. So I would listen to a lot of psychedelic rock because of my dad, is how it started.
How did
And
your
I think I started getting heavier tastes because I was getting really frustrated with the classical world. Their critique of me was very harsh at times. There was one point in my teen years where I was considered to be one of the best in the country as far as classical piano was concerned for my age group. And it took a lot of work to get there, but then when I got there, it was kind of like, this isn't fun for me, I'm bored. But I was constantly told that I was playing too loud or I was playing too aggressively, things like that, where I was just like, well, I don't want to be somewhere where I'm going to be judged on the way that I'm performing or the way that I'm emoting. Like, I got the notes right, like, but you don't want any personality behind those notes, is basically what they were saying. Yeah. Or at least that's how I interpret. They didn't want me to interpret. So it wasn't fulfilling. So when I first heard Metallica, I was like, oh, this is classical music, but turned up, loud. Yep. I was like, I get it. Like, it totally made sense to me. I was like, this is what I've wanted all along. So, like, I think the first song I heard was Battery by Metallica, which has that beautiful classical opening. And then it just, like, it's the same riff but loud after that. And I was like, this is what I've been doing and didn't know it. I was like, I've been a metal player this whole time, didn't know it. So yeah, that was like a big, like, aha moment in my life. I was just like, oh, this makes sense to me. Like, I can speak this language. I understand what's going on here. Yeah. And like, I want more.
So being a rock fan, how did your dad take it when you first started working with people like Dee Snider, Corey Glover? Was your dad pretty excited for what was happening for you at that point?
Yeah, because when I was a kid, we'd watch their videos on MTV, so it was like, to be able to perform with people that I was watching on MTV and idolizing, and then it's just like, oh yeah, like me and Dee did a duet together years ago, which most people don't even know about it, but that horror orchestra that we did together, the Van Helsing's Curse, we recorded a duet together. I have it on my SoundCloud. It's a cover of Cry Little Sister from the Lost Boys.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was cool. And like, my original bands and Priestess have opened for Twisted Sister. And then with Corey, I guest sang with Living Color, and he and I have sung together. And actually, we have a new song that's coming out in the near future, a duet of us together. That's pretty exciting. It's Corey and Vernon from Living Color, and Nuno Betancourt from Extreme.
Awesome.
So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one.
I also have to ask about you working with Kitty as well, because they are one of my favorite metal bands of all time. What were they like
cool.
What were they like to work with, and how did that come about?
Well, I wish I could say that I've worked with the band. Tara
Yep.
Plays guitar for Priestess on occasion.
Okay.
So she sometimes joins Priestess on stage, and she's played with me in my solo project as well.
Awesome.
So she's currently the guitar player in Kitty.
Awesome. So, okay, let's bring it back to Priestess, because we are running out of time very, very quickly, and I could talk to you about music all day, but what have you got in store for Australia? What have you put together the set list already, and what can we expect from these shows?
Yeah. Well, you can definitely expect, like, the classics. Like, that's gonna happen. Obviously, like, we want to give people, like, the songs they know and love, so you're gonna hear those, but Priestess always likes to serve up some deeper cuts, so you're definitely going to get some curveballs in the set from time to time. And we also tend to lean on the heavier side of things, so we'll be playing some of Priest's heaviest tunes as well.
Awesome. So to finish off the interview, what would you like to say to people out there who are thinking about coming along to this amazing nights? What would you like to say to them?
I would say definitely come out. Bring your wives, bring your daughters. You know, it's not just a night of, like, great metal. It's a night of amazing, like, female empowerment. There's just something about seeing, like, 5 women on stage in leather-studded outfits, just thrashing it out and having a blast. It's super infectious, and it'll charge you up in ways that you can't even imagine. So definitely come and get your surge on, because it's a really exciting, liberating experience, and it's going to kick ass, and you're going to love it.